Guys, I play clubs all over the city. You having a good time? Oh, God. My name is Julio. That's an Italian name. Giulio. But when I was a kid, my mom changed the spelling. She wanted to make it more American. So she made it Julio and made me Latino. Hola a todos, bienvenidos al show de comedia. It's been about 10 years since I've been on stage, plus COVID, so it's been about 25 years. I'm an uncle now. I have 5 nephews and 1 niece. Yes, they're adorable. They call me Uncle Julie, which is such a pretty name for a grown man. I love being an uncle, but kids are really different now. The other day I asked my niece, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" She's 6, looked me dead in the eye and said, "Hot." They're an Instagram generation. She's obsessed with dancing, loves dance class, dance school, dance competition. She'll TikTok till 1 a.m. My nephews, individually and collectively, are obsessed with the penis. We have this in common. Last summer, we were in the pool, and my sister went in the house, and all 5 of my nephews, all under 12, surrounded me in the pool like sharks in the water. And the 9-year-old, who's the spokesperson, was like, "Uncle Julie, we have a question." I'm like, "Oh, they're coming to me for uncle advice. This is great." "The balls." I'm like, "That's not a question. Are they part of the body, or do they just hang from the body?" Right? So I'm like, "Gentlemen, I'm glad you asked. It's actually both. They are a part of, and as you get older and you develop, they begin to hang." And my nephew looks at me and says, "Huh, either way, cool feature." But I'm glad they came to me, right? Because sometimes I really struggle, with bonding with the boys. Because I'm the gay uncle, right? So where are my gunkles? Anybody? Yeah, right? The girls are easy. The boys, all they do is talk about sports. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, all day long. These are the same things to me. The channels you skip on the way to HGTV. I don't care if you win or lose. I care if you love it or list it. The other day, we were at the table, and my nephew said something about Julian Edelman. And I don't know who that is. So I was like, so I simply said, "I don't know who that is." "You don't know who Julian Edelman is? Do you know who Tom Brady is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the hot one." "Dad, can you believe Uncle Julie doesn't know who Julian Edelman is?" And now I'm pissed, right? Because I'm being embarrassed by an 8-year-old. So I'm like, "Do you know who Kristen Chenoweth is? Patti LuPone? Do you even know Bernadette Peters? Dad, can you believe Anthony doesn't know the most famous divas of the American musical theater? Shame on you, good sir." But coming out to the kids was actually pretty easy. So when I came out to my parents, that was not so easy. We all have our story, right? Here's mine in a nutshell. Picture this, 1997, the boroughs of New York City, Staten Island to be specific. The new home, as of today, of the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I don't like minor league baseball, but I love a good logo. I tell my mom, she's crying. I tell my sister, she's crying. I tell my dad. Now, my dad is basically Tony Soprano. Minus the mafia, minus the therapy. And he looks at me and says, you got a friend? I said, yeah. He said, he's gay too? Telling the kids was easy. We sat them down. I rounded them up. I said, look, most boys like girls, most girls like boys. Some boys like boys, some girls like girls. Any questions? And then I felt myself drifting into the data. I was like, I'm a nerd. So I was like, they say 2 out of 10 people in the world may be gay. They didn't care. My niece said, my dance teacher is gay. No kidding. My nephew said, Portia at school has 2 mommies. And I said, that's because only lesbians would name their daughter Portia. And I thought we were in the clear. The next day, my sister calls and says, your nephew lined up all the 4th grade boys and said, 2 of you are gay. Have a good night, everybody.